Hello, friends. Today we are going to start with another topic which is carbon footprint. Now, let us try to understand what is the meaning of this word carbon footprint. So, now it's an imagination time. You all can imagine few things. Imagine that you are on a beach and it's a sandy beach and you're walking at the shore of the beach. So you know that when you're walking and if you look behind, what will you see? You can see some footprints of yours, right? So this will be footprints of yours on that sandy beach. So this is a basic thing. So when you say carbon footprint, it means it is the print which has been left by the carbon. Okay. So what basically is the meaning of carbon footprint? A carbon footprint is a measure of the impact of our activities have an on the environment. So we do a lot of activities, right? And that activities have impact on the environment and in a particular climate change. So it relates to the amount of gases produced in our day-to-day lives through burning fossil fuels for electricity, heating, transportation, etc. So let us simplify this meaning. Let us try to understand this meaning that basically what is carbon footprint. So basically the total amount of greenhouse gases, okay, produced indirectly or directly by human activities, okay, and that can be expressed in tons or it can be at times expressed in kg, okay, that so basically it is in tons only, is called as of carbon dioxide will be called as carbon footprint. So what did we say? That the total amount of, now why we are focusing on carbon a lot, we know that carbon is a greenhouse gas and we already have studied about the impact of greenhouse gases in our environment. So we know it is very harmful, okay, if it goes to very a larger extent. So basically when you say carbon footprint, so you can say it is nothing but it is a measure, okay, so you can say it is a quantity, it's a measure of carbon which we are emitting out, okay. Now what we are emitting, basically it can be a human being, right? So basically it is the total amount of gases which is produced directly or it can be produced indirectly also, okay, and that is nothing but carbon footprint. We will keep on discussing more about the definitions. So your carbon footprint is the sum of all emission of carbon dioxide which were induced by your activities in a given time frame. Usually a carbon footprint is calculated for a time period of a year, okay. That is, let us try to understand it, that basically if there is a human being, let us say that if I want to calculate my own carbon footprint, yes, so it is, what is the meaning of that sentence? It means that whatever carbon dioxide emission is happening from my side, okay, through various activities, that is I'm going by my own vehicle, I am in my home I am using refrigerators or other heating appliances. So all those things in certain amount is somewhere contributing in production of this carbon dioxide, or you can say they are not only carbon dioxide but any greenhouse gases, okay. So that individual contribution which I'm doing, that will be called as carbon footprint, okay. But it is not that is directly, but indirectly also it can happen, okay. Let us try to understand. So based on this, there are two carbon footprinting. One is primary carbon footprinting, second is secondary carbon footprint. So what is primary carbon footprint? This is a measure of how much carbon dioxide is given out directly by energy consumption. So you are in control of this type of carbon footprint. What is the meaning of the sentence? The amount of, so basically we have understood the meaning of carbon footprinting and now we are talking about the types of carbon footprinting. So there are two types. One is primary and second is secondary. What is primary? You can, in simple ways you can say it is the direct amount of carbon which we are emitting out, okay, and the things which are in our control. When you say directly, it means those things are in your control. For example, if I'm telling that I'm going by my personal vehicle and it is producing this much of carbon dioxide. So that is primary carbon footprint because that is under my control. I can also go for an electric vehicle. I can also go for a vehicle which is running on biofuel. So that is under my option. Okay, but still, if I prefer to use a diesel or a petrol bike, then it means that I am increasing this emission. Okay, so that is my personal carbon footprint, which is under my control. This is important. So, what is the meaning of secondary carbon footprint? Basically, secondary carbon footprint is the measure of carbon dioxide given out that is not under your control by products you consume. Okay, for example, if I'm wearing some normal top and say jeans, now few things are under control, but if I'm wearing something or if I'm eating some food, now remember all these things also, let us say normal tops, the dress you wear, where it is produced in the industries, right? So that industry is also emitting out greenhouse gases. So without my control, because wearing top or wearing some dress is not, that is normal thing, but under, in the process of manufacturing of that, there is a lot of greenhouse emission which is not under our control, and that will be called as secondary carbon footprint. Okay, so this is the basic difference between primary and secondary. Primary is under our control and it is quite direct way of emission, and secondary carbon footprint is indirect way, and these are going to be the emissions which will be not in our control. So what is the difference between these two? Primary carbon footprint, let us say examples of this, like home appliances permanently switched on, like our TV, or any other ways we are doing fan, refrigerators, washing machine. So that will be coming under primary carbon footprint. Second, flying from to work from London to Shoreham, or any types of flying, basically, as we know that these aeroplanes or helicopters or any a high degree of vehicles which you can say, they or transport, they produce a lot of carbon dioxide. Using a car to drive into town for 2 minutes, even if you're using your own vehicle, that is under your control. Energy efficient condenser boiler, if you're using any boilers and all, or you're using any dryer and all, so these are all your personal uses. Similarly, when you talk about examples of secondary carbon footprint, then there is imported food. If you're ordering food, food is not, you're not producing food in your own backyard. It is something which you're purchasing, so that is not your control. Ready meals, for example, if you want to eat pizza, if you want to eat any thing which is already ready, not only that, but any type of food which is already ready, that is not under your control. Eating large quantities of red meat can emit a lot of carbon dioxide, or this one, cheese strings, drinking bottled or filtered water only, because these all are done in certain industries or certain plants, and there we don't know how much, greenhouse gases are emitted out. So, the carbon footprint is the measurement of all the greenhouse gases we individually produce and has a units of tons or kg of carbon dioxide equivalent. So, this is what we said, that how much greenhouse gases are being emitted by an individual. Okay, it is not only by an individual, but a carbon footprint is the total set of greenhouse gases emitted caused by an organization, event, product, or person. I can say my individual, I can calculate my individual carbon dioxide also. I can say that how much carbon dioxide is produced by my home, that is whole of the family members, that is also one way of calculating. Second, I can also think of carbon dioxide produced by the entire college. Okay, let us say that whole BBA first, second semester, fourth semester, sixth semester, whole of the students, that is the entire college, how much they are producing. And also we can say as an organization, let us say how much a full industry which is there, how much that carbon dioxide is produced. So it can be calculated in various steps, you can say, or various degrees, right? Individual carbon dioxide or carbon footprint production, then family, you can say, organization also, it depends that how you calculate it. But what it is, at the end, it is a total amount of greenhouse gases emitted by either an individual, either family members, either certain group or organization. So it can be caused or it can be emitted by transport, how much vehicles we are using, land clearance, and the production of consumption of food, fuels, etc. So the mitigation of carbon footprints through the development of alternative projects, that is how one can stop this, or how one can reduce this. Okay, for example, if I know that I am producing so many tons of that is my carbon footprint in a year, and obviously it is contributing to various factors like climate change, greenhouse gases, which is causing global warming, ozone depletion. So all of that, it is contributing. So as an individual, I can help reducing at least my direct or primary thing. Okay, so how I'll be able to do it? So there are various things which can be done by an organization or by the government. That is first using solar energy, or using wind energy, or reforestation, that is growing of forest back, because we know that forest or trees which are there, they can absorb large amount of carbon dioxide, so that will help in absorption of CO2. So we should grow more and more trees. So represents one way of reducing a carbon footprint, and is often known as carbon offsetting. It means we are settling down the carbon. Okay, I think this we have also seen in carbon sequestration. So I hope you remember that video. Otherwise, you can go back and you can check that video. So the main influences on carbon footprints include population, economic output, and energy and carbon intensity of the economy. So we'll not talk about economy much over here. We are just focused towards carbon footprint, which is the energy produced in the world done by burning fossil fuels such as petroleum and gas. Okay, you can see similarly that if you want to calculate your carbon footprint, it means it is the total amount of CO2 and methane gas. In general, you can say it is the amount of greenhouse gases which you are producing, or which one individual is producing into the environment by consuming energy. Okay, so the units in which we talk is for example, when you're using paper, it means it is adding your carbon footprint because you're using 15 units of energy to make paper from a plant. Because when you're cutting a plant, you're doing all of that and converting into paper, it means you are using 15 units. So there are some things which are already calculate. We have to just tell that how much we are using, and that can calculate our carbon footprint. So it can happen through various things, that is through industries, through our vehicles. Okay, then direct and indirect uses which are going to be there, uh, and then we also have deforestation, vehicles and all, that is transportation, especially the aerial transport which is going to be there. Mining produces a lot of carbon dioxide. So all of these factors are there which contributes to carbon footprinting. Now the question comes, how do we calculate this carbon footprinting? Okay, so let us take an example that we are using a car. Okay, and the car is a diesel car. So you can similarly calculate for petrol, gasoline, diesel, and oil. But let us say that we are using a diesel car. So 1 liter will be, when if you're using 1 unit or 1 liter of that diesel, it means you're emitting 2.7 kg of it, carbon dioxide. So let us say that if we are traveling a distance of 100 kilometer, let us say that I am moving, I am going at a 100 kilometer distance by using my vehicle, that is car, which is a diesel car, and that car in 100 kilometer uses or consumes 7.5 liter diesel. Okay, it's a basic thing. I'm moving 100 kilometer and my thing is 7.5 liter consumption of diesel. Then how much it will be for 300 kilometer drive? That will be around 3 into 7.5, because it's 100. For 100, if it is 7.5, then for 300 it is going to be 3 into 7.5 liters. So that is a total of 22.5 liter will be used if I'm going at a distance of 300 kilometers. So which add totally to how many kgs? Because for diesel it is 2.7 kgs. So what was going to happen? It will be 22.5, because that is the total amount of diesel which I am consuming, into that is carbon dioxide which I am emitting is 2.7 kgs. So that is a total of 60.75 kg CO2 is going to be my personal carbon footprint only through this vehicle. Okay, now other factors are different, but if I calculate only my carbon footprint from my vehicle, using my vehicle, it means the total amount is this much. Okay, so this is a basic calculation with an example of a car. Now, there are various online apps, there are various online websites which help us to understand, because suddenly we cannot calculate like this, right? So, there are already very systematically made, what you can say, websites which will help you to calculate your carbon footprint. But one of the best which I have taken is this one. You can go through it, it's a carbon calculator. They will be asking a lot of questions over there, like what is the food and drink products, pharmaceuticals, that is how much medicines you take, then the clothes, textiles, paper which are using, computers and IT thing, how much TV you use, motor vehicles, furniture, what is there, this one, how much you visits to hotels, restaurants, okay, insurance, education. So they ask you many questions over here which you have to answer. Okay, once you answer, then you will be clicking on the estimate secondary footprint, and that is how, so you, once you fill these things, automatically it will progress your thing, and you can understand that how much you are contributing or how much is your carbon footprint. Okay, so that is how we can calculate it. So basically, as we said, it is the emission of greenhouse gases. So we already know the meaning of greenhouse gases. These are the gases that can absorb and emit infrared radiations, and these are going to be contributing to global warming and all. So these are various gases of greenhouse. So that is water vapor. We have already studied this in previous videos. You can go and check there also. So the major gas is water vapor, which is constituting around 36 to 72%. Then we have carbon dioxide, which is again a major gas which contributes again 9 to 26%. Then methane, that is CH4, is, so these are the formulas, you can go through this also, and then that contributes to 4 to 9%, and ozone, that is O3, contributes to 3 to 7%. So these are the major greenhouse gases which we have to control in terms of reducing the consequences, the effects which are caused by greenhouse gases, that can be reduced if we try to control these gases. So, carbon dioxide is also a so called greenhouse gas causing global warming, and other greenhouse gases which might be emitted is methane and ozone or water vapors. So, these greenhouse gases are normally also taken in account for carbon footprint. So, it is not only carbon dioxide, but it is also other greenhouse gases. Okay, so the carbon footprint which we are talking about is a very powerful tool to understand the impact of personal behavior on global warming. So, how we are contributing. So let us talk about India. You can see various things like solid, liquids, gases, flaring, cement, and total amount. That how much in these years we have actually increased our. So you can say that in 1850s there were no, it was not naturally controlled, but now in 2010, if you see, we have gone to our peak, and now it is in 2021, let us say it has increased like anything. So we are actually emitting carbon dioxide with, like, it has increased to so much. So this is the total 1000 metric tons of carbon, and you can see we have reached to a very high level in India in production of these carbon or greenhouse gases. So, what are the main effects of this carbon footprint, or what are the major effects of these greenhouse gases? So, basically, climate change, depletion of resources. Okay. So, how it is impacting on climate change? Climate change is the ultimate effect of large carbon footprints like greenhouse gases, whether natural or human produced, contribute to the warming of the planet. So, we have already seen that from 1990 to 2005, CO2 emission has increased by 31%. And again by 2008, the emission again was increased by 35%. So as in when we are moving, okay, now 2021, it has increased more. So we are emitting this carbon dioxide because we are using so many vehicles. 10 years back, if 2010 you're talking about, or 2008 you're talking about, it is almost 15 years back. People didn't had their own vehicle. People used to use buses were also in control. Okay, then nobody had their own car. Many people didn't had their own car. Very few people had it. Most of the people, no one used to use much of the TVs and all. Most of us didn't had cables, refrigerators, washing machine. But now if you see, everyone is using it. So you can understand the amount of these emissions which has taken place, it has reached to some other peak only. Okay, so that is all contributing to climate change. Second is depletion of the resources. Obviously, the more carbon dioxide or the more greenhouse gases emission will be happening, we are using our resources, we are burning fuels, we are burning our petrol, diesel, all these resources, we are actually depleting the resources. So we will be coming to a stage in next 10-15 years where we will not be having any petrol, diesels, we will run out of all these things. So we are actually depleting our own resources. So now you can see there are international and Indian scenario where you can talk about various plants. Like, let us not talk about international now, you can go through all these things, but let us take example of India, wherein a plant that is a L'Oreal plant, L'Oreal is a brand, and it in Pune it is having a plant. So they have actually, what they did was they calculated their carbon footprint, and then they realized it. So they actually changed to this solar heating to preheat washed water, which saved 93 tons of CO2 production per year. And that is how they actually reduced their carbon footprint. So that is one of the good examples, and that is how the plants or industry should work. So this is what I was telling you, that when you want to calculate it, you can go through various apps or various calculator. You can directly get it on Google. So how much electricity is produced, natural gas, heating oil. So there are various things they will be asking you. You have to just put it, and you have to put in what terms it is, and then that is how you can calculate your house. This one. Similarly, you can go for your vehicle carbon footprint. Okay, and that is how you can calculate how much it is. So you can go through a whole of these things. Now we are talking about all the we have seen the definition of carbon footprint, we have seen how to calculate it, we have seen what are the impact of carbon footprint. Now let us talk about how to control it. So on individual based, obviously we can control our direct or primary carbon footprint, we can reduce certain usage. Apart from that, we can switch off and switch on to something else. That is, first is biofuels. Now we already know that petrol and diesel can cause a lot of carbon dioxide emissions. So how we can do it? We can go for biofuels. So bio means life, and fuel is nothing but let us use something which is renewable, which is not going to impact the environment, which is not going to produce any pollutions or pollutants. So this biofuel which we are talking about, that will be using the biomass, that is a energy source, live from living beings. And there will be with the usage of this biofuels, we can reduce all the pollutants, we can reduce the carbon dioxide emissions, and that is how it is going to help. Okay, so you can go through it, it is just a note attached to it. Then we have a Pongemia tree, which is also called as Honge tree in Canada. Now, it in the Raigad district of Maharashtra, in over 70 villages, these trees are planted in front of their houses. So let us say that in one house in Raigad district, 2 to 3 trees are of Pongemia. So this produces shelter to a variety of animals and provides a cooling effect. Obviously, if you have 2 to 3 trees only per house, you will be getting shade out of it. Second, it will be giving cooling impact. Also, it is going to absorb CO2 and it will be producing O2. Okay, so people in Raigad district of Maharashtra prefer to sleep under this tree, and they prefer to get fresh air and all. So now when the expectancy, that is the average life of these people, was calculated, that was found to be around 85 years, which is actually too much, because nowadays 85 years is very much. Okay, but they have a very healthy life. Okay, so a recent survey for this reason, that how come Raigad people have got a higher life expectancy. So that was found that they have planted trees around their homes. Okay, this tree, Pongemia tree, which is actually doing continuously photosynthesis. It is actually providing all the fresh air, it is absorbing a lot of carbon dioxide. So that is helping out in maintaining a healthy life. Okay, so not only this, but it is also helpful in producing or production of oil. So oil is extracted from the seed of this particular tree, which also is very useful. So finally, the basic idea is to tell you that the seeds of Ponchimia tree can be used for extraction of oil, and that oil can be used as a fuel. That is a biofuel. Okay. So these oils are very cheaply available and they're very eco-friendly. So even poor people can afford it. That is almost 1 liter of this is around 35 rupees. So that is very less because now the rate of 1 liter of petrol is almost it has reached to 100 rupees. Okay. So imagine where is 3500. So we will be getting fuel also, which is a biofuel because it is produced from a tree. It is not obtained from some oceans and also it is produced from trees. So it is a biofuel. One thing, it is very cheap, and also the tree is giving us so much of benefit and other things. So that is why these are certain you can say these are certain uh, answers to how we can stop carbon footprint or production of greenhouse gases. Apart from that, at a individual level, we can reduce the usage of AC, fridge, all the vehicles. We can use public vehicles. Instead of that, if we can walk and cover the distance, one should preferably go by walk. We should not cut trees, we should go for more of planting of trees. So all these things are solutions of it. Okay. So we should take measures to shorten our carbon footprint by reducing the emission of greenhouse gases, mainly carbon dioxide. So this should be our ultimate motto. Okay. So I think here we will end. Thank you everyone.